Okay, listen, I've written about 30 videos in the past 2 years, none of them are finished, and all of them start with this line, but the number has steadily increased, so I'm going to write, record, and edit this really quickly before I become busy with something else. A new Professor Layton game just got announced as one of my top 5 gaming franchises of all time, so in the spirit of this momentous event, plus the fact that I'm getting really close to that 4,000 watch hours thing I need, I'm going to speed review the entire franchise. Professor Layton is a puzzle game series to the Nintendo DS about a professor of archaeology and his apprentice traipsing around the British countryside, getting into misadventures. In America, this little boy is American, and all the titles of the games are different, but Americans don't like me, except this one. So this will be the last time I mention that. Curious Village is a perfect introduction to the series. It's short, sweet, weird, wonderful, and cute to boot. The mystery is engaging, the music is incredible, and puzzles are very fun. I remember loving the Barber one as a kid. It's more of a riddle than a puzzle, but it helped my adolescent brain solve problems in a way it hadn't done before. 7.5 out of 10. Pandora's Box upped the stakes perfectly, with a big journey, a mysterious artifact, and some familiar faces. It has a heartwarming ending with a wonderful credits theme that I still listen to while I make ships go fast in the big space game that I work on. 9 out of 10. When the trailer dropped for Lost Future at E3, my jaw went with it. I was so unbelievably excited for this game. I listened to its main theme song on repeat for a week, and all that hype led to satisfaction. I know this one jumped the shark for a lot of people, but it's easily the peak of mainline Layton for me. The score, the puzzles, the setting, and the story all fit together wonderfully. Like puzzle pieces. Also, you know that Layton's a good professor of archaeology when his office is full of books and he ensures that artifacts are returned to their countries of origin. Probably the biggest misinterpretation of British culture since JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Oh, actually one of my 30 videos was about this connection and I can feel myself starting to rant. 9.5 out of 10. Let's take a well-placed break here to talk about the big dog in the room. The insane third act twists in Professor Layton games are a feature, not a bug. I devoured mystery books as a child and became so overly familiar with their tropes that not being able to guess the twist was a complete novelty. And Professor Layton does this by giving you all the clues and requiring a huge imagination to put them together. The logical and financial ramifications be damned. My brother in Christ, you were given the clues. You were pointed in all the right directions, and the only reason you didn't see this coming is because you refused to believe it could. And that's fun! That's cool! My favorite part of Lost Future's story is that it plays upon your expectations of how franchises grow over time and completely turns it on its head, preventing us from looking forward into the future, but rather back into the past. And then they went back into the past. I avoided Spectre's flute for years because I was very prequel averse, and I also hated Luke's new design. I hate this stuff. He looks like a baby. He's not a baby. He's a little man. What the hell? But I shouldn't have avoided it at all because this is a great start to the second trilogy. A bit unsure here and there, but a solid mystery, great music, and hey, those puzzles are still very, very good. This is the last time the games use their gorgeous 2D art style outside of cutscenes though, I assume for production cost reasons, but I've come to peace with this. Oh, and they've got a lady sidekick now? Sure, she's cool. 9 out of 10. Miracle Mask, baby. Puzzles, great. Score, incredible. Mystery, very satisfying. 3D art style takes some getting used to, but man, does it really work for those puzzles. Descale, you pompous ass. You haven't masterminded shit. 9.5 out of 10. Azran Legacy is more than a fine send-off to the original series. It's a globe-trotting adventure that definitely cuts some corners to increase the scope. I'm not really a fan of any of the twists. The whole thing plays more like a Studio Ghibli movie, which is fine and those are great, but it's not Professor Layton. Love this clip though.
Quack, quack.
8 out of 10. Layton Brothers Mystery Room. That's right, we're not done. It's a franchise, and we gotta talk about the side stuff. And boy howdy, this game is genuinely an underappreciated gem. I played it purely because of the Layton connection, and while it's barely there with a much more mature tone, the spirit of Professor Layton is alive and well, especially in that ending twist, such a fun subversion of expectations. So glad they got a manga adaptation, I'm giving that a read tonight. 9 out of 10. I'm not kidding when I say that Professor Layton and the Eternal Diva should have won Best Picture the year it came out. I mean, who even watched Slumdog Millionaire? It's fun, it's cool, it's a genuinely perfect adaptation of the games, with some interesting puzzles and twists to boot. Second only to the live-action Ace Attorney film. I've seen it too many times to count, and I really hope this new one sells well so Level 5 can make some more. That being said, it probably almost bankrupted them. 9.5 out of 10. Professor Layton and the Malignant Growth is a series of fan-made animated shorts on Newsgrounds that I watched as an actual child. They were rude, they were insane, they have aged like spaghetti, and they're probably responsible for about 80% of Adult Swim's catalog of shows. I don't know why I covered this. That happened out of 10. Layton's Mystery Journey is a game I have not played and a show I have not watched. I was busy. I was at uni and broke. Oh god, did I get Layton cancelled? Was I its sole investor? Oh man, what have I done? Oh hey, the soundtrack's pretty good though. Question mark out of 10. Professor Layton was an incredibly formative franchise to me growing up. More than Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, or some dumb wizard nonsense that no one cool even likes. Professor Layton helped me understand a lot of things that were strange to me, like how being polite and kind would help you earn people's trust, and how it was important to take a stand and fight when you saw something that was clearly wrong, how hate and spite can drive people apart for years for no reason, and how all police officers are bumbling incompetent morons. And all of this is just the exquisite set dressing in an otherwise incredible collection of puzzles. Puzzles that bend your thinking, make you consider every part of the problem, and have a helpful hint system that is willing to handhold, but will still let you figure out the final steps. The best puzzles in Layton games are the ones that seem almost too simple, like which one of these items do you light first to draw a bath? Professor Layton showed me what it was like to love something, to be excited for something, to let something go, to see something move on, to see it change into something else. Not better or worse, just new. In this life of choices and consequences and regrets, to learn and feel and understand these things at such a young age changed the way that I am in such a profound way that I can feel it in my very bones. Bones that contain a wisdom that says, every puzzle has a solution. But why are you looking so hard for a solution when you haven't really considered the actual puzzle? You like the match. Oh, and did you think I forgot about Professor Layton vs. Ace Attorney, one of my favorite games of all time, both a full-length Professor Layton game and Ace Attorney game with the best characters from both franchises. Funny, silly, awesome, weird, incredible. The ultimate variant Sudoku. A story that is completely and absolutely bananas, and I love every second of it. And of course, the absolute best soundtrack of any game that has ever been on the DS or 3DS system. Holy moly. The credits theme alone is something I would crank up to 11 at parties. This game has an admittedly clunky art style thanks to the early adoption of the 3DS, and yes, I don't care that it's like 40 hours long, 40 hours too short more like, but these are just chips in the beautiful bronze statue that is this incredible game that totally deserves a sequel. 10 out of 10. Can't wait to see what they do next. I've got a tutorial in the works, but it's a big one, so it needs more time to cook. See you then.